Pettis-county, Shafer.
Thank you. I have two short pieces to read, and I like one of them. So, leap year. As your non-elected representative at large serving on the committee to regularize everything, I appointed myself to the position. I'm taking a stand against leap year. I believe that we're going to change to year-round daylight savings time because it's annoying to change our watches. We might as well go ahead and fix the calendar so we don't have that annoying change in it either. It just confuses people, and I don't know anyone who gets more done in that extra day. We just don't need it. And while we're at it, let's make every month have 30 days. It would be easier to know what's going on. I've composed a short poem as a device to help remember this. 30 days hath September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August. Much easier. Now you might notice that this doesn't make the days line up quite right because we have 7 days in a week. Doing the gazintas, 7 gazinta 34 times, but still has a remainder, but I've worked that into my plan. All we need is 5 6-day weeks, and then the days and days of the week would align perfectly. The first day of the month would always be a Tuesday, and the last day would always be a Sunday. I've always been partial to Tuesdays. I know a lot of people are. So my plan is to simply abolish Monday completely. Nobody likes it, nobody will miss it. Someone could re-record that Mamas and Papas tune if they felt they had to, Tuesday, Tuesday. And I'd be just fine with that. I have a poem for the days of the week too, taken from the works of the immortal bard Mother Goose. It starts off, in your face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for its living, but the child that's born on the Sabbath day is blithe and bonny and good and gay. Well, see, with the dubstep intro, you don't even miss that other line, do you? And I managed to keep the rhyme. Now, I do realize there's a huge potential conflict with that last line, recognizing both the Sabbath and gay rights, but that's a separate issue that will need to be dealt with at a more appropriate time, say Tuesday, August the 1st. You might also notice this proposal doesn't add up to a 365-day year. It's 360 days. What about those extra 5 days? We don't need them. We'll just ditch them and go on like it's 1999. Now, you think that'd mess up the seasons or the days we celebrate holidays? Nope, that's already messed up. Do the seasons really work with the kind of weather we're supposed to have? Does the sun come up at the same time every day? Have you not noticed that we celebrate holidays like Christmas 11 minutes earlier every year? Yep, that's where we get that extra time to make a whole nother day in February during leap year. And every time we add a day to the calendar, we move our holidays to a whole nother day. Seriously, you won't even notice those 5 days missing, except that maybe spring will arrive a little bit earlier, and that should help us get past all that global climate change hullabaloo, huh? And getting rid of leap year, even without loss of those 5 useless days, will have the benefit of making presidential election years shorter. Imagine 1 day less of campaigning and political commercials. Under my plan, we'll have 6 fewer days of campaigning during election years. You're welcome. I'm sure you've noticed the presidential election years seem longer, and the reason for that is they are longer, always in a leap year, except for 2 times. Leap years happen every 4 years, except for turn of the century years like 1800 and 1900 that are not evenly divisible by 400. Yeah, try putting that in a short poem. Anyway, we've had only 2 presidential elections that didn't happen during a leap year. Thomas Jefferson was elected to the presidency in 1800, which to me suggests we didn't need an extra day to figure out he was the man for the job. But in 1900, we elected William McKinley, and things didn't really go well for him. Well, first there was the whole being shot thing, but that wasn't what killed him. According to his doctor's media reports, he was responding to treatment and rallying well until the gangrene he contracted from the medical treatment knocked him for a loop because things like disinfectants and sterile instruments hadn't really caught on at the time. However, the gynecologist who treated him sewed him up with black thread and left a bullet in him because who knows where it might be. He also added this thought to our knowledge. A bullet, once it ceases to move, does little harm. Well, I wonder if that's maybe more true of a bullet outside the body than inside the body. But when McKinley's condition worsened, the doctor diagnosed indigestion from toast and chicken broth. and he continued to provide rosy reports of his recovery, which seemed to have stopped when McKinley died. And the same doctor couldn't find the mystery bullet during the autopsy either. Well, the wheels of justice rolled quickly in those days. McKinley was shot September 6, died September 14. His attacker went on trial September 23rd, was found guilty September 25th, and executed in October. But McKinley's legacy didn't work out well. It was decided to change the name of Denali in Alaska to Mount McKinley in 1917, but recently it was determined that nobody liked that, so it became Denali again. McKinley's picture appeared on the $500 bill, but it was determined that nobody liked that, so we stopped using them. However, from 1907 to 1939, the U.S. became the world's leader in sterilization. But apparently that had to do with forced sterilization of people, not medical instruments. Recently, McKinley's legacy has been undergoing study because nobody's really sure what it was. The point here is that, ironically, none of this happened to Thomas Jefferson, so any argument regarding what happens to a non-leap year president is completely invalid. We're just as likely to get a Thomas Jefferson administration as a William McKinley. But let me digress to my main point. We don't need leap year. Modern science is more advanced than when Julius Caesar invented the Julian calendar or when Gregory invented the Gregorian calendar in 1582. While we're fixing daylight savings time, we might as well fix the whole deal with what I'm calling the Tonian calendar. We won't miss the extra day. We'll have all those extra hours of sunlight during daylight savings time. We won't miss Monday. We won't miss those 5 days we lopped off. The good news is we'll still have February 29th. In fact, we'll have that date every year, and it will always be a Saturday. So when you all wake up tomorrow, Sunday, February 30th, celebrating the Sabbath by being blonde and blithe and good and gay, think about how much easier this proposal has made your life. I know you appreciate the committee's hard work and dedication to making things more regular. You're welcome. And a very short piece combining the themes that I was requested to write on. Love and leap. With the theme of love and leap, I struggle with how those best fit together. Of course, I first thought of Lover's Leap, but that just seems to put people over the edge. I thought about leaps and bounds, but that seems to have more to do with escaping. I considered leap of faith, but then I got that confused with quantum love in my head somehow, which led to being both in love and out of love at the same time, like Schrodinger's girlfriend. So I decided to keep it simple. Here it is. Love and leap. Do it like bunnies.